science syllabus, that is a okay, that is a biosphere. Okay, because your science paper in your O-level examination, right? It's important to discuss the concept relevant to the biosphere. Okay, right. Okay, you can see that this is our today's focus, right? So here we are going to focus this today. The first one, the organizational levels and interactions, right? You know that in this part, from which stage to what stage does the biosphere has been from made up of, and also from the structural levels to topmost level, right? One, we will see about the growth of population and growth curves, how it's come, how to calculate the population density and everything, right? The second and the another one, we are going to focus on flow of energy and nutrition, right? Another thing, biochemical cycle, right? Here, biochemical cycle mean normally in your syllabus, one cycle and nitrogen cycle only there. So two cycles we will learn. Okay. The last one is the question time. In between the seminar session, after the 45 minutes or something, I will put the Google question air. Okay. So you can do the uh, questions through the link. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's move to the our session. Okay. Here, you know that. Can you see my slide now? Yes. Okay, right. So here we are starting from environment, right? Okay. So here you know that there are a lot of concept will be discussed in this lesson. So first of all, let's see what is environment. Okay, what is environment? So here you may see the next slide. Okay, here the environment. Okay, the you know that simply we can say that environment is our surrounding, right? But in standard way we can explain the environment as a complex definition like this. Okay, so here you know that uh, the physical and the biological components in which interaction takes place for the existence of organisms are environment. Okay, here you can say that there are physical components, right? In the environment there are physical component as well as biological component in the environment. Then that is interact together in order to make the suitable place to the existence of organisms, that is the environment. Here in this definition you found two important words. First one is the physical, another one is the biological, right? So here you know that the physical component means non-living things, right? What is that? Non-living things. Non-living things means what? The soil. Just imagine in a certain environment, you may see the soil, water, air, something like that. Okay. So all are coming under these physical components. Another one is the biological components. Biological component means living things, right? Living organisms. Living things, it may be an animal, it may be a plant, or several things, right? So the biological components are the type of a living organisms, right? Okay. here these should be mentioned in the definition of environment. Okay, what are the things? Two things you have to mention in the definition: physical components and the biological components. Both two are interact each other. For what? For what? To make a suitable place to the existence of organisms. Okay, I hope you understand this, right? Okay, let's move. Right. Next, you can see that here I have already told you that there are two components, that is physical components and the biological components. Okay, so here you can see that what is physical components: soil, water, air. Biological components, that means I have already told you that that is a living organism. So plant, animal, and microorganism. These are the biological components. Both are present in the environment. Okay, right. So the next one, right. In addition to that, okay, in addition to those physical components and the biological components, there are environmental conditions also. Okay, just imagine, not only if you imagine the particular environment, there are physical components as well as the biological component. Not only that, in addition to that, there is a environmental conditions also, right? For the environmental conditions, that is, what are those? Temperature, right? Temperature. In every environment, there is a particular temperature and rainfall. Okay, humidity, sunlight. Okay, these are the environmental conditions. Okay, right. Okay, so these things, first of all, you have to know, right? First of all, we have taught you that what is environment. In the environment, two types of components are there: physical components and the biological components. And what are the what is coming those above components and environmental condition, and what are those? Okay, let's move. Okay, here see that environmental equilibrium. Okay, let's see what is that. Here there are different interaction takes place among the physical component and the biological component, that mean the organisms, and other thing, environmental condition. So among these three, okay, among these three, interaction takes place. Okay, so here, because of these interactions, right? Because of these interaction, different types of changes may happen in the environment. Okay, because of these interaction, different types of changes may happen in the environment. So here, the environment can make the equilibrium in between those components. You know that what is equilibrium? Equilibrium in what? Simply we can say balance, right? So the simply we can say equilibrium is the balance or ecological balance, right? So here, what is that? Here you know that the environmental equilibrium means the balanced relationship between the organisms and physical environment. That is referred to as a environmental equilibrium. Okay. Again, I am telling you that we have already taught you that there is the uh, interaction among the physical and biological and environmental condition. So because of these interactions, different changes can be happen. Okay, for that, environmental can make an equilibrium in between those components, right? So that's the why it's known as an environmental equilibrium. Okay, so the balanced relationship. Okay, equilibrium in what? Balanced relationship between the organisms and physical environment. Organisms mean what? Biological components. Okay, right. So here you know that although the equilibrium taking place in the environment. That means here you know that environment are trying to make the balance the environment. A small changes, okay, small changes in the environment can be change the affect the existence, right? Affect the environment, but environment has ability to restore its condition after the small changes. Those that is the environment. First of all, it can be make a some other changes in the environment. Again, environment can has the ability to restore its the condition, okay, after the changes, right? So again it's restored. But what is that nowadays at the present there are so many complicated human activity which affect these environmental equilibrium. But normally there is a changes happen, but environment can ability to restore those conditions. But today what are happening now because of the human activity which affect the ecological equilibrium. So in this unit you will further will learn about these activities which affect the environmental equilibrium. What are the ill effect of the human activities for the uh, equilibrium later in this lesson. Okay, right. Right, the next one. So until now what we have studied, what is environment, what are the components there, what is the environmental condition, what is equilibrium also, right? Okay, right. Next we will move organizational level. Okay, right. Here the organizational level in the biosphere, right? Okay, now you know that the organizational level in the biosphere, here when we take about the what biosphere, there are different organizational levels, right? Starting from individual, right? Starting from individual. I will upload the notes end of the session, right? PDF. Now you can see. Okay, end of this session I will upload the PDF, right? Okay. Here you know that the organizational level starting from individual, right? Individual, and after that the population, community. Here you can see that the ecosystem. Final, the topmost is biosphere. Okay, this is the organizational level. Okay, so further in this lesson we have to know what are the levels. First of all you have to know what are the levels, right? Okay, what is this? Individual, population, community, ecosystem, and the biosphere, right? So first of all we have to know what are the levels and how to define. Okay, you should know what is the definition of each. Okay, then example, right? So these things you have to know, right? Normally this organize simple to complex, right? Here see, this is a simple to complex, right? So here you know that okay, right. So here you may see that biosphere is organized from the simplest to the complex level. So here the individual is the simplest level. The biosphere will be the complex level, right? We will see later how it's that. Okay. And also you can see the following chart. Here the individuals, after that the population. Here the order you should be know, right? Individual, population, community, ecosystem, and the biosphere, right? You may see in the picture also. Here see the this one is the organism. Here you know that organism or individual, whatever you can say. Individual mean one organism. Here see, in the population you will see a lot of organisms, the same species, right? So the community means you may see that with the another plant like that. Okay, the ecosystem also, you know that here with the other environmental conditions, all the ecosystems are joined together and form the biosphere. Okay, right. So this is the order you should know. Okay, right. The next thing. So let's learn each of them. Right. The first of all, what is the lowest level? Individual. Right. Individual. Right. Here, you know that what is individual? Normally, you know that individual is a single organism, right? If you consider the one environment, there are different organisms now. For example, a plant, uh, something coconut plant, elephant, or dog, or cat, or whatever, right? So here, you know that here we are consider single organism, that means one organism in particular species, right? So here one coconut plant, one elephant, that is the individual. So here the definition will be like this: a single organism belongs to a particular species. Particular species mean, like we will see next what is species. For example, here one coconut plant. Okay, so that is lives in the environment referred to as the individual. Whatever it is, for one woman or one man, like that. Okay, that is the individual. Okay, one person, the single organism, that is the individual. I hope you have understand. Again, I am telling you that individual mean a single organism, right? Belongs to the particular species and lives in the environment, that is referred to as a individual. So example, you may say anything, any kind of one single organisms you may give as an example. Okay, right. Okay, right. So you have a question, ask question in the chat box. I think while teaching, you will get the answer for those questions. Okay, I will not mm, read everything. Okay, right. I'll give a time to ask, right? Okay, right. So here I hope you understand what is individual. Okay, here the word, here you may see, you can see the word species, right? Species. What is species? Right? What is species? Okay. What is species? Species means, okay, a group of similar organism. Okay, a group. Okay, a group of similar organism. Here underline the word similar. Okay, a group of similar organisms who can interbreed naturally to produce the fertile fertile offspring. Right? Okay, here you know that species mean here fish is the one of the species. Okay, that means a lot of fishes coming under this fish group. No, likewise here the cat, a lot of cats, a same group, same organism, a lot of group of cats is a one species. Like that here the butterfly, a lot of butterflies, that is coming under the species, that is butterfly species. In a species we can take one, if we can take a one butterfly, that is an individual, right? Species mean a group of similar organism. Here in this picture, how many species you can see? Six. This is a one species, here another one. So altogether here you can see that six species. Okay, so species mean a group of similar organisms, right? A group of similar organisms who can interbreed naturally to produce the fertile organisms. Here, fertile mean what? Fertile means here if one generation is produced, okay, if one generation is produced, for example, here the fish is there, it reproduce another fish, right? If the one generation is produced, that the generation, this generation also should have the ability to produce the new generation. This can also should have the ability to reproduce the new generation. That is the one what species. Okay, so again I am telling you that you should mention these things. First of all, group of similar organisms, right, who can interbreed naturally to produce fertile offspring. Okay, right. So this is the species. Here similar organism interbreed the fertile offspring. Okay, the fertile mean what? Fertile mean if one generation is produced, that the generation also, this generation also should have the ability to produce the new generations. Okay, understand this one? Okay, I hope you understand, right? Okay, next level is the population. Okay, one second. Okay, here the population. The population mean what? The population is a group of organisms belongs to the same species, right? Same species, but here in a particular geographical location, right? You should mention these two words. Okay, geographical, in the particular geographical location, right? During the specific time, that is known as a population. If you take the particular area, right, if you take the particular area, you are going to see the population. So what is that? Is there is a same species, right? Same species, a group of animals or a plant, whatever the group of organism belongs to the same species. That means if you are say the elephant, only the elephant, that is the species, no. So same species. If you see the human, only the human. If you are talk about the cat, only the cat, right? So group of animals or a plant, that is a group of organisms, belongs to the same species in a particular geographical area. And you should mention time where you are getting population, when, what is the time period, what is the duration. Okay, so that is called population. Okay, so in the particular area and specific time, a group of organisms belongs to the same species, that is population. So human population, it may, you may see the elephant population, cat population, coconut tree population, what is that, whatever. Here you may see the example, so it will clear more. Here how you can, you want to see that a numbers of elephant lived in the Yala National Park in year 2011 is this much. Okay, so while you are counting the population, you should say area, what area you are taking, and which year, what is the time period you are talking about. Okay, these things you should mention. Okay, so you know that here the numbers of elephant lives in the Yala. Here you are telling the amount, how much the population, but you should say the geographical area as well as the year. Here, the another example you may see that human population in Sri Lanka in year 2014 is this much. Okay, so here also you are talking about human species. The place is Sri Lanka, and you are mentioning the time period also. So in the 2014, okay, in 2014, okay, 2014, this much of populations were lived. Okay, understand these things? Okay, so this is the population. Okay, again I am telling that population mean group of organisms, particular geographical area, and specific time period. Okay, let's move next. Okay, someone is message me that a part of screen cannot be seen. Sorry, wait. Now can you see the full screen? I hope you can see that, right? Yes? Okay, right. Let's move next. Okay. The next one is the community, right? Next one is the community. So the community means, right? Community means we have already taught you that that is the community population, another population. Here, a group of population, a group of different interact with each other in particular area, that is a community. For example, if you take the community mean, there are animal population, that mean there are here you may see in this picture, here the coconut tree is there, or here there is a fish can be here. Okay, crocodile is here, so the crocodile is the one of the population. Here a coconut plant, lot of plant is there, no, there is a one population. Fish, another population. So all the population, a different population, a group of, right, a more than one, okay, a group of different population interact with each other, right, in the particular area. In particular area, interact with each other. That is known as a community. Okay. First, we have seen that what is a population. Then the next level is the community. Community is mean group of different population, right? Then all the populations are interact with each other in particular area. That is referred to as a community. Here, you know that you may say this example, animal community in Yala National Park, right? Here, this is the particular area, right? Animal community. We are talking about the animal community. Under this animal community, it may come what, dog or elephant or what other things, wild cat or deer, uh, lion, everything is coming, no. So the different populations, a group of different populations, right? So that is a Yala National Park. That is the animal in the Yala National Park. That is a one of the community. Okay. Okay. Someone is has asked what is interaction. Interaction mean what? Um, Between the what is that? Interaction. How to say? There is a connection. Okay, between the two uh, population. Interaction mean connection or some other giving or something. Okay, further we will study about the food chain and the food web. Okay, one organisms is depend on another one. Okay, one is feed on another one. Okay, so that is the interactions. Interaction means uh, how to say, there is a relationship. Okay, interaction means there is a relationship between those. Okay, right. Okay, right. I hope you have understand that interactions, right? Okay. Animal community in the Yara National Park. Okay, this another thing. Plant community in Nigambu Lagoon area. Right. This is also the community. So under the plant community, a lot of different kinds of plant population coming under this plant community. Coconut plant trees coming and mango plant. Palmyra, all the things, right? Okay, so this is the community. Again, I am telling you that group of different populations, right? Okay, so the next one, the next level, ecosystem. Here, the same thing, all the communities, and the non living components which they are interact in a particular area. Here, how it's defined this one, how it's we are defining all the communities. Okay, not only the all the communities, the plus non-living components also, right? All the communities plus non-living component. Non-living component is what? Physical component. We have already learned that before slide. Okay, non-living component means physical components, right? So all the communities and the non-living components which they are interact in a particular area. Interact mean what? A relationship, right? Okay, right. Here you know that mm, for example, we may give an example as a ecosystem, a pond. A pond is a one of the ecosystem. Here you can see in this picture, okay, you can see in this picture, this is the ecosystem. What are the things you can see? Here there is a mosquito, duck, frog, and dragonfly. Okay, these are the what organisms, are different organisms are there, right? So another things you may see that non-living things also. Here mud, okay, here stone, water, air, right? So those are the what? Non-living things. Okay, here as a plant, what are these? Grass is there. Here aquatic plant is there. What are those you can find in this picture? Okay, you may about that you can see the sunlight. So this is the one of the example for the ecosystem, right? The living things and the non-living things, right? Living things mean all communities. Here you should mention the word all the communities. Here plant communities are there, okay, and animal communities are there, insects are there, okay, with what? Non-living components, that is the water, stone, mud, sand. Here you can see that air, all are non-living components. So in the ecosystem definition of the ecosystem, you should mention the all the communities and the non-living components also, right, in a particular area. Okay, so decaying log. Decaying log mean what? Here, sometime you may see that log that is going to decay, right? So in that also you may see the mushroom and some other microorganisms, that is fungi, bacteria, that is also there. So that is also the one of the ecosystem, right? The log will be the what? Non-living things. Another things, the mushroom is the living one. That is the one community. Okay, so you can see that you may see other bacteria, not only one type of bacteria, different types of bacteria, fungi, everything is there. Okay, another thing, the forest, a beach with a rock and the cliff. Why we are mentioning the with rock and the cliff? Because non-living components. So with the in if you take the forest also one ecosystem. Forest you may see the lot of communities, right? With you may see the rock, sand, water, and everything, right? The beach also like this. So these are the example of ecosystem, right? So again, I'm telling you that the ecosystem is all the communities and non-living component, right? Okay. The next level, right? The next level is biosphere, right? Biosphere. So here, you know that biosphere means the last most level, right? This is the one, a part of the earth and its atmosphere that is inhabited by the living things called biosphere. Biosphere mean all the ecosystems are, okay, all the ecosystems are joined together and form biosphere. Okay, here the places where the organisms live. Okay, now we have studied uh, ecosystem, right? There are so many places in the environment where the animals or plant lives. So all the types of places where living organisms lives, it refers to as the biosphere. Okay, all the types of ecosystems. Okay, all the types of ecosystems join together and form the biosphere, right? So we have the globe. Our earth is one of the biosphere, right? So here the biosphere, okay, the biosphere is composed of three component, right? If you take our earth biosphere, there are three part, okay, because all the organisms are distributed in different places, okay. There are a lot of organisms present in our earth, right? Each and every um organisms distributed in different places, right? So that is why some organisms are present in lithosphere. Let's see what is that. That is a land terrestrial animals. Some are living in water, oceans, pond, lake, river, anything. In some other organisms are present in the atmosphere, right? So the organisms are distributed in different places. According to that, we are classified the biosphere in three, right? Lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere. Here, lithosphere mean, okay, what's that? Land, right? This lithosphere is made up of crust and upper mantle of the earth, right? So the lithosphere is the land. Hydrosphere is the water. That is the region include all the ocean, fresh bodies like river, pond, lagoons, everything is coming under that, right? So that is the hydrosphere. So you know that I have, you know that 70 percentage of the earth is covered by water, right? So that is the hydrosphere. Okay, atmosphere means around the earth you may see that air part, that is the atmosphere. In the atmosphere also there are a lot of organisms, right? So biosphere can be divided, it composed of three components: lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. Okay, so until now we have studied the organizational levels, right? Organizational levels, that is what, uh, first of all, individual, population, community, ecosystem, and the biosphere. Okay, right. Now the question time, right? Here, now the question time. I have uploaded the questionnaire, okay, in the chat box. You should go through the link and answer the question. Can you understand? If you understand, drop a message in the text box as yes. Okay, again I'm telling that I will upload the link. Okay, question link in the chat box. You should go through the link and answer the question. Have you understand this one? If you if you have understand, put the message yes. Okay, there is a question is a multiple question, right? You may there is four. Okay, there is a multiple questions, right? Four answers are there, so you should answer those questions. Just try. It is so easy.
Nearly around में आवाज है ना कि
Yeah, I have put the link, but the host is changed. No, that's why I couldn't put that one. Okay, I'll talk the host and I will put later. Okay, right. Here the one is I'm a co-host. No, so that's why I didn't put. Okay, I couldn't put the link because it's not working. The actual host is lost. No, right, I have put the message to him only, and then I will put the share the link. Okay, right, so it's no worry about that. Let's move next. Okay, right. Can you see the screen? Right, can you see the screen now? Right, I hope you have see the screen. Yeah. Right. The thing is that I'm not a again. I'm telling that I'm not a actual host. No, that's why I couldn't put the link on the chat box. I have sent a message to the actual host, and I'll put the link later. Right. Now I can't put the link because I'm a co-host, and only I couldn't put that one. Right. No worries. No worries. Okay. Can you see the slide? Anyone? Yeah, you can. No, right. Okay, good. Right, here the next one. Okay, next one. We will see the growth of population and the growth curves, right? Growth of population and growth curve. Okay, right. Again, I am trying, but the actual host is not there. That's why I couldn't. Okay, I'll put the message. Right. Okay, let's see that here the growth of population and growth curves. Right. Okay. Here you know that growth population mean already we have seen, right? What is that? A numbers of individual belongs to the same species, right? So here the growth of population, right? Here you may see that when you are talk about the population density, right? Here we are talking about the population density, right? Density mean what? You are taking the population amount, right? We have already seen that the particular population in a particular area, particular uh, time, time period, there is an amount, right? For example, in Sri Lanka, okay, human population in 2024, 2 million. 2 million is the population, right? Here I'm the population of the human in Sri Lanka in the year 2024 is 2 million. So this is the population, right? The population density is while we are divided by the area, we will get the population density. Okay, so the definition we should say like this: a numbers of organisms of a species living in a unit area of a selected habitat is known as a population density. Here, the word a unit area, we should take a unit area. That means per area. Per area mean for the particular 1 square meter, for the 1 meter cube, 1 meter square, how many population, how many um, numbers of organisms. So that is the population density. So the population density mean what? A unit area, a numbers of organisms of a species living in a unit area. That is the one of a selected habitat. Okay, that is the population density. So here, when calculate the population to a unit area, that the value considered as the population density. Okay, right. So in example, again I am telling that in 2014 or 24, whatever it is, there was around 22 million people living in Sri Lanka. Now, when you take that value divided by the area of the Sri Lanka, you can find out the population density. Here also, for example, you may see that human population density of the Sri Lanka in 2014. Here they mention the habitat, that particular area, and the year, the 2014, is 329.12 kilometer per square. Here you may see the unit of this one. This amount is divided by the, this 22 million is divided by the area of the Sri Lanka. So you will get the population density. Okay, I hope you have understand this one, right? Here the size of the natural population varies with the time. Yeah, sure. For example, if you take the 24, the density will be varies. Population will be varies. Why? Why is that? Why is varies? Okay, so you know that. Let's see why. Why it is varies with the time. Okay, you know that in every, someone is put the message. Yeah, good. Because of the birth and deaths. Right. So let's see what is the reason. Okay, here I am again telling you that the numbers of organisms of the species living in a unit area of a selected habitat is known as the population density. Right. So the time to time, year to year, or decade to decade, the population is varies. Let's see what is the reason for that. Right. These things: the birth, deaths, immigration, and the emigration, right? Okay. One second. Right. Okay. Here you know that 4 reasons that affect the population density, right? What is those? Birth, death, immigration. Let's see birth. Birth means what? A numbers of newborn that is added to the particular area, right? You know that. Okay, here another one is the death. So this is the increase of the newborns, right? The population density will be increased, no? Right. Another thing is the death, right? Death means, right? Death mean, uh, what is that? When you take the certain area, the numbers of organisms that belongs to the species who is going to die or lost their life. So within the certain time period, you know that the population density will be low, right? So this one is also what uh, affect the population density. Another thing, immigration. Immigration means what? Coming from a different geographical location to the particular location that we are going to discuss about here in the immigration. For example, in particular area, right? In particular area, you know that some of the organisms are coming from the uh, particular another from foreign to a certain our local area. So that's why the numbers of organisms will increase, right? So this is also affect the population density. Another one is the immigration. Immigration means those a kind of a numbers of organisms are exit to the particular area, so the amount will be low. So these four factors will affect the what population density. Okay, understand? Right. Okay, so you should know that what are the factors. Okay, here you may see the picture. Here you may see the picture. Here there is a uh, birds. This is the one we are consider the area. So these things, right? So here you know that the birth here, by the birth the population will be increased, right? So and the things, death. Sometime here you may see the picture. The eagle is feed on this small bird, so it will be death. So the population will be reduced. Here some another birds are coming from the different location to this area. So here finally the population will be increased. Here some of the birds are fly away from this area, so will be reduced. So this picture will be clear to you what are the factors. Okay. Okay, next one. Right. Next, we can see that a typical growth curve of the population, right? Typical growth curve of the population, right? Here, you know that now we are going to graph the population growth, how it's coming. Okay, the population growth in a graph, how it's coming. What will be the shape or everything we are going to see, right? Here, you know that normally this you can see this picture in this graph. In x-axis, y is the time, the y-axis numbers of individual, right? So by the time passes, what will happen, we are counting the numbers of individual in a particular area, because we are talking about the population now. So if you draw the population graph for the human or uh, rabbit or cat, whatever, we are taking the particular population, right? Okay, so the typical growth curve is look like always, right? The shape will be sigmoid shape. Here, look, this is the sigmoid shape. While we draw the graph against time versus numbers of individual, okay, time versus numbers of individual, the graph will be in sigmoid shape, right? Okay, so what is talk about here? You know that the numbers of organisms in the natural population changes with the time according to the particular pattern, that is the sigmoid shape. Okay, so here for each and every population this is going to be the pattern. Okay, here the growth is rate is increasing, and here slightly decreasing, and after that it will be stable. Okay, right. Someone has asked why won't it go down? You may talk about this graph now. Yeah, I'll explain that. Okay. Environment. Okay. Here. Okay. In this one, this is the here there are four, right? Here we can divide these one in four, right? Here the four phases, right? Here 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are four phases, right? Okay, let's see why is increasing here. Here the rapidly increasing, here slightly decreasing. After that, it getting stable, right? Why it's that showing like the sigmoid shape? Let's see now. Okay, right. You may see the faces, each and every one. Okay, here you know that phase 1, okay, phase 1 is a slow growth. Okay, first of all you have to know what are the phases, right? What are the phases? First phase is a leg phase, right? Leg phase. The second one is the exponential phase. The third one is the declarating phase. Fourth one is the stable one. Okay, right. We will see each and every phases, why it's coming like this and what are the reasons. Okay, so let's move the first phase, that is a slow growth phase. Okay, slow growth phase. Another name, you know, that leg phase. So the both words you should know. Sometime in the question they may ask as a leg phase, so you should know the phase number 1. Or sometime they will ask in the way, in the word slow growth phase. So so you have to know the phase. To name you should know. Okay, again I am telling you that slow growth phase, leg phase. Okay, so right. Okay, so here you know that uh, in this phase, right, in this phase here increasing in very low, right? The increasing is very low, right? This is first and more foremost phase, like because of the lack of medicines or technology. Some, for example, you are, the particular population is introduce a particular area, so the organism is new one to that environment, so the particular organisms is not adapted to that environment. For example, previous human population, they are going to introduce a particular uh, geographical area. So in that time, no lack of medicine, no like there is a no any other technologies, right? So because of shortage, uh, the amount of population will be low because they are not adapted to the environment. Okay, the first thing, first reason. Okay, the new environment, new organisms are introduced, so this organisms is not adapted to particular environment. So that is the one reason. So the numbers of what individuals are very low, right? Another thing, another reason, first not adapted, right? Another thing is there are less amount of mature organisms are there. You know that mature organism who is going to reproduce are less. Okay, so very slow, not growing at all, right? So there is a no any other mature organisms. If there is a mature organisms only, they will reproduce and individuals will be increased. So because of less mature organisms, the second reason. Okay, so these reasons, the numbers of organisms are increased very slowly. Okay, very slowly. Okay, right. Um, so this is the reason in the leg phase. Here you may see that, here see, with the time, the numbers of individuals are increasing very slowly because of that not adapted to the new environment, and there are no uh, that much mature organisms to reproduce. Okay, these two reasons, that's why the lag phase is very slow growth. Okay, let's move next. Okay, the next one is uh, phase 2, high growth phase. That is another name, you can say that, that is a exponential phase or log phase. The first one is the leg phase, and the second one is the log phase, exponential phase, the rapidly increased, right? Very, very high upward motion. Here, you know that, here you may see that very, very high upward motion in the second graph, right? Right. So here, you know that when a time is going to pass by, you know that, for example, uh, here the time is passing now, so the animals or the particular human or something, they are adapted to the environment. So when the time is going to pass, they will adapt it to the environment, so the growth rate is will be high. Another thing, for example, if we talk about the human, the thinking capacity and the brain capacity will be increased. So they may invented the new weapons to protect themselves from the predators. Okay, so the body structure also well adapted to the environment. Okay, now you know that now harsh environment are becoming favorable environment condition. Okay, the previous one, all the conditions are harsh. Now all the conditions are environmental conditions are becoming favorable environmental conditions, though they have abundance food. Okay, so these things, and also you know that the amount of the organisms that are reproducing also increase. That means the mature organisms are there, so the growth will be massive like this. Okay, right. So the graph, the next phase will be exponential. It's rapidly increased. Okay, so what are the reasons? Well adapted. Okay, and the numbers of organisms reproduce are high. Why? Mature organisms are a lot of there. That's why. So all the harsh environmental conditions are becoming favorable environmental conditions, right? And the things, abundance of foods, so that's why the organisms are rapidly increased. In the previous one, slowly growth, and by the time pass, the all are favorable, so the growth will be massive. Understand these things? Okay, let's move next. Okay, the next one, phase 3, right? That is a declaration phase, right? Declaration phase. In this declaration phase, right? You know that, for example, here the third phase, because of the after the increase certain level. Okay, here after the increase certain level, they have dropped down. Here, see. they have dropped down. Why? Why is that? Here, after the certain level increased, here they drop down. Why is that? With the increase of population, okay, for the particular area, a lot of populations are there. Okay, lot of populations are there. So what will happen after the increase of, because of the increase of population, food is becoming short. Okay, there is a food shortage happen, right? Other thing, you know that earlier less amount of peoples are there now, so more amount of food without any troubles. But now more amount of individuals, the same less amount of a food, so food shortage will be caused. And also because of the consuming different kinds of the food which are toxic, which are getting not good for the organisms, different kinds of diseases will be arised. And also we can say the predation. Okay, because of the predation, so the microorganisms gradually, what will happen, the organisms are gradually decrease. Why is that? Again, I am telling you that food shortage. Why? There is sometime there are more in this time, there are more amount of individual, but the food are low. The amount of the food is less. What will happen? There can be food shortage, and because of the diseases. Predation mean what? The predators, carnivorous animals, or feed on the uh, other animals, no? So what will happen? Predation. Parasitism, that means microorganisms are spreading among the population and make the diseases, and because of that, some kind of amount of individuals will be die. So these reasons, this phase is drop down. Understand this one? This is the reason, this here to here, the graph will drop down. Okay, right. The next one, what will happen? Let's see. The fourth phase, the last one. Okay, the last one, what will happen is, okay, what will happen is phase 4, stationary or stabilizing phase, right? Here, you know that this is the one, here the last one, it is getting a stable, right? It getting a stable. Here you know that increasing environment will be, no, normally that increasing the by the increasing individuals, environment will not be able to bear that all the individuals, right? Because short amount of the areas are there. Okay, the less amount of areas is there, but for example, only the 100 individuals can bear in this area. What will happen? By the increasing, there are a lot of uh, individuals present there, but will happen food shortage there, sometimes fighting with the less amount of the food or shelter or whatever happening there. So environment cannot able to bear a lot of individuals. So here the declarates gradually, and because of the food shortage, predation, parasitism, it is getting stopped on a certain point, gradually decreased, and it is stopped on a certain point. Okay, this is the one here. Then by the time, it will not increase the same level. Okay, it will be the same level. That the point is known as, the point is stationary phase. Okay, here the growth rate is going to be zero. Here no growth, no growth. Okay, it will going to be zero, because there's a certain amount of the individual can bear by the particular environment. So what will happen? Initially it's slow growth and exponential growth and slightly decreased, and finally in the fourth phase the growth rate is going to be zero. right? No growth. So here you know that once reaching it's the carrying capacity, that is the carrying capacity. Here you know that this is the carrying capacity. So the carrying capacity is achieved the dynamic equilibrium. Here in the dynamic equilibrium you may see that the birth rates and the death rates are same. Some are birth, some amount of the in birth and the death. So by this action, what will happen, the equilibrium is it is happening the ecological equilibrium, right? That means the balanced, the birth and the deaths are balanced. Okay, so the growth of the population will be zero. Okay, so the carrying capacity is when it comes to balance situation mean birth rates and the death rates are same. Okay, so it will be balanced in the particular environment. Okay, so when it's come to this balance situation, the numbers of organism in the population is called carrying capacity. Here the balance situation, here there is a particular numbers of organisms, that is the carrying capacity. Here you know that sometime 1000, this is the carrying capacity when it's balanced. Okay, so here the time to time it will be changed, finally it getting stopped on a certain point, that is the stationary phase. So the growth rate is zero, so this is the point known as a carrying capacity. Understand these things. This is the typical growth curve. There are four phases: leg, log, and declarating stationary phase. Have you understand this one? Is there any doubt? If you understand until this one, drop a message yes. If yes, put the message yes. Let's move next. Okay, right, good. Let's move next. Right, the next one. Right. Here, now we are going to talk about the growth of the human population, right? Until now, we have seen that normal, all the population. It may be a, it may be a, what's that? It may be a, for example, what, uh, what kind of animals you may see? Coconut or animal like elephant or lion or something. But here now specially we are going to talk about the human population, why it's how it's come. Okay, so now we are the typical growth curve will be like a sigmoid shape, right? But here normally normal growth curve have a having like a S shape, that is the sigmoid shape. But this is the one human population. When you take the human population, this like a J shape, that J shape. Okay, this is the one. This is the one I have. This is the one I have put in the normally in the human growth curve, that is look like a J shape, right? Okay. Still, here you know that this is the leg phase. There are already we have seen four phases now, four phases. But in the human population growth curve, only two phase. Only two phase. Why? What's that? This is the leg phase. Okay, slow phase, leg phase. This is the exponential phase. Again, this is not a. It's going to drop. Okay, it's still in the exponential phase. Still keep getting growing now. Okay, this is the human population. By the day passes, the population will be increased, not decreases. Why why is that? Here you know that definitely numbers of births should be increased, and here to get these exponential uh, curve, why numbers of births should be increased and death should be decreased, then only the graph will be like this. Okay, because you know that nowadays technological advancement is there. The technological advancement help for the growth of population in very much large extent. Nowadays you know that new medical inventions are there. Because of that, new medical treatment or some other things, so that is reduce the diseases. Okay, and other kind of issues right, with the health problems. Nowadays you know that scientists have prepared a several kind of agricultural crops that can give out more harvest within a less time period. Okay, more harvest within less time periods. And large area have been harvested from time to time, so that why no any other food shortage, no any other medical issues. Okay, so the death is very low, death rate is very low. And this one what birth rate is high. Okay, previously here you know that the previous years there are no any other development or technologies are developed, no, then only the human population look like this. Okay, from here to here after this one the gradually here the rapidly increased. Okay, because of that, because of the technological advancement, so the human population growth is look like this. It's still in the exponential phase, J shape. Okay, understand this one, right? Okay, here you know, see that there is a mm, there is a growth curve of human population. Here you know that there is a two reason why is that, why the population is look like this. Increase the birth rate, decrease the death rate. So that's why the growth curve of the human population look like J shape, that is still on the exponential phase. Okay, because of the technology advancement, right? Okay, right. Until now we have studied the growth curve, how it's coming. First one we have seen that typical growth curve, right, for the all kind of population. The second, there is a four phases: leg phase, log phase, declarating, and the exponential phase, sorry, stationary phase. After that, we have seen the human population, how it's coming. That is a J shape. What is the reason also, right? Next, the new topic. Okay. The new topic, that is the mechanism involved in maintaining the of ecosystem, right? So then the next one is the another part, right?
With
Okay.
energy source of all ecosystem in the bio.
Hello? Anyone asking anything? Okay, let's move. Here, mechanism involved in maintaining the equilibrium of ecosystem, right? here you know that what are the mechanisms which is going to be help us. Okay, you know that without sun, okay, without sun we can't live, because it is the primary source of energy, sun. All for the all reactions, kind of uh, all kind of any other reactions, the initial source will be the sun. So without sun we can't live. So you know that the photosynthesis, the plant do the photosynthesis, right, by using the light, right. Here all are, include us also, depend on the plant directly or indirectly, we are depend on that. Okay, so example you know that, so the for the uh, through the in this one through this mechanism we are getting some of the nutritions as well, right. So here you know that just in this part we will see about the food web and the food chain, right. Food web and the food chain. So here you know that, for example, we are consume a food by uh, from the plant, then whatever it is we will see later. So the flow of energy means here the through the food web and the food chain, energy and the nutritions are going through the each going through the food web and the food chain, and through this only we are getting the energy and the nutrition, right. So this the flow of energy and the nutritions among the is essential for the existence of biosphere. Okay, okay, let's see how the energy is going through, how the nutrition is going through, especially through the food web and the food chain. So let's see what is food web, how it's coming, what is food chain, how it's coming. Let's see. Okay, the first one, food web. Okay, the first one, food web. Okay, here here you know that food web is the interaction each other in order to achieve their nutrition. That is the relationship interaction which the within the organisms, right. So simply we can say interaction each other in order to achieve their nutrition and the energy, right. Here the definition will be like this: mutual relationships for the food. Okay, it interact for what? Food, for the food purpose among the organisms. Mutual relationship for the food among organisms is referred to as a food web. Okay, here you know that is the picture, you can see that there is a food web. You know that food web mean, you can see the normally one chain is the food chain. Okay, there is a one uh, normally you have studied in the previous grade also, there is a plant, one is eaten by something, another one is eaten by something, that is a food chain. A lot of food chains make a complex web, that is the food web. Here there is a lot of, there is a web like net like structure. Here initially it's starting from sun, right. So after that this is the plant, one kind of a plant that is that is getting a sunlight from the sun and making the photosynthesis. So this is feed by this also feeding, this also feeding. So here it's going, this one is consumed by this. This is consumed by this fish. This is consumed a bigger one. Okay, like this you can see that a very critical and complicated food chain. Okay, here you may see there are a lot of food chain. So here each and every one is a trophic. We will see later. That is interconnected with each other. Okay, that is the food web. Okay, the actual definition is this. The mutual relationship for the food among the organisms is referred to as a food web. Here, in another way, you can see that the lot of food chains are joined together and form a web-like structure. That is a food web. Okay. The next one, here you may see the food web. Okay, here you can see that this is the grass. This grass is, you may see one chain. Okay, you may see the one linear chain. First of all, it's eaten by the grasshopper. This grasshopper is eaten by bird. This is the one food chain. Okay, you may see another food chain. Right here, here the carrot is there. It is eaten by rabbit and fox. Okay, this is the one food chain. Okay, and here this one. So how many food chains are there? Are a lot of food chains you can find out in this food web. Okay, right. So this is a simple one. Okay, the next thing, food chain. Right, in the food chain, simply we can say that food chain means through the food chain only the energy and materials, that the materials mean nutritions, can flow through the each levels. Right here you may see that this is the food chain. Here the one picture is given to you to see. Here you know that a sequence of energy and the material flow. Okay, flow from producer and the producer to consumer. Right, so here consumers are what? These are the consumers: grasshopper, frog, snake, and eagle. These are the consumer. This is the producer. This is the producer. These are the consumer. So through this chain, the energy and the nutritions are passed. Okay, from here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here, like that in a chain form. Energy and the materials, that mean the nutrients, are flow. You know that here this is the producer, this is the primary consumer, this is the secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, this is the quaternary consumer or apex predator, you may say that. Right, so these four are the consumer, but the different places are there, so the name will be vary: primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary, or apex predator, like that you can say. So this is the one food chain. Okay, right. So through the food chain only the energies are passing. Here the sunlight energy is stored in the plant. This is the grasshopper is eating grass, so the energy is from the passes from grass to grasshopper, then grasshopper to frog, frog to snake, snake to eagle. Likewise the energy is flowing through. Okay, the next one, trophic level. Right, the next one is the trophic level. Here you know that the trophic level means, right, the link of the food chains. The link of the food chains are known as a link of the food chains. Here you know that this one is the one trophic level, another trophic level, this is the link. No, so the trophic levels are link of the food chain, that is the trophic level. There are several links in the food chain. Okay, in that certain link is referred to as a trophic level. A numbers of food chains we won't be able to exactly predict how much it is. Okay, we can't exactly predict, sometime more than 5 or 4, but we can't exactly predict how much trophic levels are there in particular food chain. This can be changed according to the numbers of organisms or type of organisms. It can be changed, right? Here, trophic level 1. The grass is the trophic level 1. This is 2, 3, 4, right? Sometimes here, most often it less than 5 links. Okay, less than 5 links, but we can't predict. Sometime in the examination, the question will be given in the state format. Sometimes in a particular statement, they will ask. That's why I'm talking these points. Okay, so we can't predict only 4, only 3, only 5. We can't predict, but most of the time, less than 5 links. Okay, links mean what? That is the trophic level. Okay, the here you know that in the food chain, this is the producer, primary, secondary, tertiary. But the trophic level is the initial one is the level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Okay, that's the link of the food chain now. So starting from here. 1, 2, 3, like this. Okay, right. I hope you have understand, right? Okay. The next one, right. Here, all the organisms are, right, all the organisms are divided into 3 groups basis of their mode of nutrition. Mode of nutrition mean what? How they are taking food. Okay, how they are taking food. That is the mode of nutrition. For the mode of nutrition, according to the mode of nutrition, all the organisms can be divided into 3 groups, right? These things you have already learned in a previous grade also, right? So the first one is the autotrophs, one kind of. Another one is the heterotrophs. Another one is the decomposers. So some are making food themselves, right? These are some are depend on others. Some are depend on dead materials. So according to that, autotrophs, heterotrophs, and the decomposer. Right? So let's move the next one. Let's see. Mm, here you know that the humans we are belongs to the heterotrophs. Here you know that we are humans. We are belongs to the heterotrophs. And the fungi and the bacteria belongs to the decomposer, right? Plant plant and the algae are belongs to the heterotrophs, right? Here let's see the autotrophs. You know that autotrophs mean what? You have already know that autotrophs and organisms are produce the food themselves. That is the one green plant doing the photosynthesis, right? Photosynthesis, they are using a sunlight and carbon dioxide and make the glucose, right? So that is the photosynthesis. So the autotrophic organisms produce food in themselves. That is the autotrophic organism. So all the plant is the autotrophic organisms, right? So we can divide these autotrophic organisms in two, right? The first one is photoautotrophs. The second one is chemoautotrophs, right? The photoautotrophs mean here this is going to produce the food by using photo mean what? Light. Photo mean what? Light. So it is going to produce the food by using light. So that is we are known it as a photoautotrophs. Chemoautotrophs mean they are producing food by using chemical reaction. What is that? Chemical reaction. Here using light, here both are producing food themselves. But the helpers are different. Here using light, here using chemical reaction. That's why we are classified into two, photoautotrophs and this one. Normally, photoautotrophs will be the green plant, algae. And the chemoautotrophs, some of the bacteria. Okay, some bacteria is coming under the photoautotrophs. Another one, most of them coming under the chemoautotrophs, right? So these things, very simple, right? Chemoautotrophs. Okay. The next one, you know that is the heterotrophs. Heterotrophs means what? Heterotrophs organisms depend on food produced by autotrophs, right? It's depend on others. Heterotrophs are consumer. You know that heterotrophs are consumer. Here you know that it's directly depend on the producer. It's directly depend on the producer, right? So here you know that heterotrophs, we see that in this level, this is the producer, these are the consumer. So these three are, what is that? Autotrophs, sorry, heterotrophs, right? So you may see that we can, this is a consumer, no, this is the consumer. So the heterotrophs you can divide it into three: primary consumer, secondary consumer, tertiary consumer, right? Primary consumer means it directly depend on the plant. That is a primary consumer. Here, look, the mouse is primary consumer. That is a directly depend on the producer. That is the plant, right? So here it should be herbivore. Herbivore mean what? Animals which are feed on plant known as a herbivore. So this is the feed on producer. That is the primary consumer. Here the grasshopper you may see. Secondary consumer means these feed on primary consumer. These feed on primary consumer. So here mostly they are carnivores. Carnivores mean animal feed on another animal, no. So that is a carnivorous. Sometimes omnivorous too. Omnivorous mean it feed on both plant and the animal. So it can be omnivorous also, right? This is the secondary consumer. These things, then the thing, tertiary consumer. Tertiary consumer, another level, right? Here you may see that tertiary consumer, hawk, like this. This is the tertiary consumer. They are most of these carnivores. So the heterotrophs mean consumer. It is dependent on the food by other organisms, right? So we can divide it in these things. The last one, decomposer, right? The decomposer is, you know that decomposer feed on dead bodies, right? It is feed on dead bodies, right? What will happen here? Decomposers, normally the bacteria, fungi, these are the decomposers, right? Here what will happen? The feed on the dead bodies, normally our bodies, all bodies are made up of biomolecules, right? All the bodies are made up of biomolecules such as carbohydrate, protein, lipid, and nucleic acid. Biomolecules you have learned in your grade 10 unit, right? So you are familiar with that one. So our bodies are made up of biomolecules like carbohydrate, protein, those things. So these molecules are the heavy molecules, right? Heavy and complex organic molecules, right? These are the heavy and complex organic molecule. When the decomposers consume our body or dead body, what will happen? It will convert these complex material into the simple compounds like CO2 or any other gases, right? So this is how it taking the energy, nutrition from dead bodies, right? Again, I am telling you that The organism feed on the bodies of dead organisms and organic waste product by converting complex organic compound into the simple organic compound known as a decomposer. Right? Decomposer mean, again I am telling you that it is feed on the dead bodies. Here they are convert the complex molecule into the simple complex complex compound into the simple compound. So during that process it will take the nutrition. Okay, so that's this is decomposes taking the nutrition and the energy. So this is the one, bacteria and fungi. Okay, so this process is known as a decomposition, right? This is known as the decomposition. Okay, so the until now we have studied that what is that ecological, sorry, mechanism, right? Mechanism uh, involved in maintaining the equilibrium, right? Under this, what we have studied: food web, food chain, and trophic level, right? The three kinds of nutrition mode. Okay, and what are the they have not, right? Okay, so here another point is the ecological premits, right? Ecological premits. Okay, the only 10 less than 10 minutes available, but not enough time for explaining all the ecological premits. However, I'll simply say, okay, right. You know that ecological premits mean, here you know that premits, right? Premit is what, when you take the base of the premit, somewhat have high area in the base, right? You know that when you take the uh, pyramid, the base is somewhat high area, so it's going to spread around vast area. Then when you moving top along the pyramid, area is going to reduce, right? Reduce the size of the material, reduce, and gradually it will come become a point. This is the pyramids. So here you know that we are talking about the ecological pyramid means ecological pyramids can uh, build up numbers of organisms, biomass, energy relationship. We are showing these things in a pyramid shape. Okay, so there are three types of pyramids. We are ma'am, will you keep the another? Yeah, someone is putting message, but you should put the message in the coordinator only. Okay. If you want to more classes, that mean the rest of the classes, you should uh, drop a message to that number. That sir will be the coordinator. Okay, I am not. So here I'll create the Google form question. He will put on the group, I think. Okay. So this one also you have to talk with that sir. Okay, right. Okay, here the numbers of pyramid and the biomass pyramid and the energy pyramid. Simply, I can see in a one word. Okay, less amount of time is there. Okay, in a number pyramid, right? In the number pyramid, here you know that we are talking about the numbers, right? Numbers of organisms, which how much numbers of organisms are there in a particular food chain, right? Here the grasses, no, normally you are taking a food chain, right? Food chain, the first trophic level, how many producers are there, you are counting. Then how many herbivores, that's the second trophic level. Third trophic level, then you are making the pyramid, so it will be look like this. Sometimes in the numbers of number pyramid, it will be inverted also, right? um, For example, here you are taking the grass and grasshopper and frog, then eagle, for example. So you if you take the particular area, there are a lot of grasses are there. Okay, so numbers will be, for example, thousands. For example, I'm telling the numbers, no, thousands amount of grasses. Then it will feed 100 grasshopper. Okay, the grasshopper 100 grasshopper feed on by or consumed by 20 frogs. These 20 frogs consumed by one hawk or two hawk, like that. That will be the natural section, no, natural linear one. So if you draw the pyramid, this will become. Sometimes if you take the another time, it will be inverted. For example, here there is a tree. Okay, tree, there is a in the tree there will be a fruit or something. Okay, the birds are one tree. There is a one tree. In one tree, sometimes the 10 birds are consume the food. In the bird, okay, lice or bugs, like that, the parasitic present in the birds. So how much? It's lot of, no, lot of uh, lice are present there, like be 100 or 1,000, like that. In microbes are present in the lice, so it will be more and more. It feed on lice, more than 10,000, like that. For example, I'm telling that. Okay, so in that case, it will be inverted. So number pyramid, okay, number pyramid, sometimes it will be upright, sometimes it can be inverted. Okay, two times we can see. Okay, so likewise, the time is going. Here you know that biomass. Okay, here we are considered the dry mass. uh, Here you know that energy pyramid, like that we are going to see. Okay, so last one. So here until now we can finish, right? So no time for the finished rest of the things. Here you know that energy pyramid and energy flow and dissipations. Last one, right? Energy flow, how it's going, it's wastage and like that. So I don't have a time. Okay, you may, if you want more, you may contact that number and let me know. Okay, here today. Mama, okay, last one I have put the question time. Okay, okay. Here you know that this is the last one I have put the question time, or this one also no time to discuss with that. I have created the Google question air regarding this subject. I think that the sir will put in the uh, they have put in the chat box, no, sorry, the WhatsApp, the question air. So this question is I have put in that one. Okay, the during the question time. So the last one I have discussed that one. There are a lot of questions regarding this one. If you want to more these things, you may contact with the number and let me know. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, answering that, but I have put the in the Google form, I have put the marks also. That mean you may end of the submission you will get the record. That mean which one is the correct or not, you will get the points also, right? Okay, fine. Thank you so much giving your time. Okay, if any feedback, you may tell them. Okay.